Welcome back to section number 8, which is important guidelines. This is lecture number 2, wave extension and truncation. Just as a summary, we have learned that the Elliott wave principle can be subdivided into two main categories, the motive waves and the corrective waves, right? The motive wave has two subcategories, the impulse waves and the diagonals. The corrective waves have four subcategories, the zigzag, flat, triangle, and the combinations, right? These are total 15 patterns that we have learned. We have learned how to recognize them, right? We have learned how to label them, and now we are learning how to recognize, count, and label them more easily and correctly, right? We are discussing the guidelines that can help us in doing so. We have learned about the position of the Elliott wave patterns, where they can unfold, and we have also learned about the guideline of alternation, right? Now we are going to learn about the wave extension guideline and also the truncation guideline. Keep in mind that these are all the guidelines, right? Not the rules. They do not hold true for 100% of the time, but they surely hold true for 80 to 90% of the time. So let's study about the wave extension first. In the Elliott wave patterns, one wave usually extends. In all patterns, one wave usually extends. It is bigger in size or it takes more time than the other wave. Let's start from the impulse wave. This is wave 1 of an impulse wave 2 of an impulse wave. Usually wave 3 of an impulse wave extends. What that means is you will see clear 5 waves in wave 3. Also, the size of wave 3 is usually bigger than wave 1 or wave 5. So this is wave 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3, 4 of 3, 5 of 3, then wave 4, then wave 5. So wave 3 here is clearly extended, right? It's bigger in size than wave 1 and wave 5, right? So this is called wave extension. Sometimes wave in an impulse wave extend to much bigger extent. For example, this is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, this is wave 4. Let's suppose the fifth wave is extended. You will see 1, 2, another 1, 2, then 3, then 4, then 5 for 3, 4, 5 for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, 4, 5 for 5, right? So these are 5 waves where wave 1 is of normal size, wave 3 is of normal size, but wave 5 is of much bigger size if we compare it with wave 1 and wave 3, right? So here we can say that wave 5 has clearly extended. Now let's talk about the diagonal waves. In a diagonal, one wave may extend. Well, in a contracting diagonal, it's usually wave 1 that extends. For example, this is a contracting diagonal, wave 1, then you will see wave 2, then wave 3, then wave 4 that ends in the price territory of wave 1, right? And then you will see final wave 5 of the diagonal. Here wave 1 has clearly extended, right? This wave 1, if you compare it with the size of wave 3 and wave 5, it's much bigger, right? Let me draw the single lines on these to make it clearer. This is wave 1, this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. See, wave 1 is much bigger than wave 3 and 5, right? So this is the example of a contracting diagonal. The expanding diagonal on the other side has the fifth wave extension. You will see wave 1 like that, wave 2, wave 3 a little bigger than wave 1 because this is an expanding diagonal, then wave 4 bigger than wave 2, right? And then what you will see is extended fifth wave that has double zigzag or even a triple zigzag in it. This happens when you see an expanding ending diagonal usually, okay? Not all the times, but most of the times this is what happens in an expanding diagonal, right? Wave 5 is much bigger in size if you compare it with wave 1 and wave 3, right? So this is expanding diagonal, the lines that connect the wave 1 extreme and wave 3 extreme, also the line that connects the wave 2 extreme and wave 4 extreme. These two lines expand, right? They go far from each other. So this wave 5 comparatively is much bigger in size than wave 1 and wave 3. So this was about the diagonals. Let's discuss about a zigzag now. This is wave A of a zigzag. This is wave B of a zigzag. In wave C, usually what you see is clear 5 waves, right? And in rare cases, you see the extension in wave C. Wave C is much bigger than wave A. It fools the traders into thinking that this is not wave C, but wave 3, right? They think this is wave 1, this is wave 2, and this is wave 3, but actually it's not. It's ABC, right? This is what happens most of the time. Not all the times, but most of the times. In rest of the times, what happens is wave A and wave C have almost the same size, okay? So in a flat, wave B extends, but this happens in the case of an expanded flat or a running flat. But you will see that wave B is much bigger in size than wave A, right? And then you will see a sharp move to the downside, which consists of 5 waves, and it's wave C of the flat. This is very common situation. Wave B of an expanded or even a running flat extends, right? Sometimes it extends in size. The size of wave B is much bigger than wave A, and other times it extends in the duration. I mean, the time taken by wave B is much longer than the time taken by wave A, right? And what happens after wave B? As a guideline, you see a sharp and fast move, that is wave C of the flat, and it consists of 5 waves, right? So this is example of a flat. What about the triangles? In a triangle, one wave can extend, right? For example, this is wave A. What you see then is combination of the zigzags as wave B, right? This is a running triangle, and then you see normal wave C, a normal wave D, a normal wave E, right? So wave B here took a lot of time. It took more time than waves A, C, D, and E, right? So this wave B has extended in this triangle. Also, as we have discussed, sometimes one wave takes the shape of a triangle within a triangle. That is also considered as the extension, right? This is wave A of a triangle, this is wave B of a triangle. Let's say that wave C has taken the shape of another triangle that looks like that, right? And then you see this is A, this is B, this is wave C triangle, and then what you see is a wave D here, right? And then wave E, right? This wave D, it should not go beyond the termination point of wave B, right? According to the rule for a triangle. So this is a triangle where clearly wave C has extended, right? We can draw the lines to make it clear that this is wave C triangle, right? And let's draw, this is wave A, this is wave C, right? This is wave B, this is wave D, right? So this is what may happen, not much often, but rarely this is the case that you will see a triangle within a triangle. So this is wave C extended in a triangle, right? What about the combination? Well, the combinations are already the extensions of the corrective wave patterns, right? For example, the zigzags, when they are connected via wave X, takes form of double and triple zigzags. These are extended zigzags, right? You can see multiple flats connected with each other via wave X, right? So this is also considered as the extension of the correction, right? So these are the line diagrams I have just shown you to show you how the extension look like in each pattern of the Elliott wave principle, right? Now we will have a look at some real-time examples of wave extension. This is price chart of Tesla Motors. The time frame is 4 hours, right? This is wave extension and truncation example 1. This is example of extension in an impulse wave, right? From this low that formed on 3rd of October 2019, why we are considering this low but not this one or even this one? Because we had a triangle here, right? And after the completion of the triangle, I am considering this as the start of the big impulse wave to the upside, right? So this low formed on 3rd of October 2019, right? We are having a look on 4-hour chart. So we have wave 1, wave 2, we have clear wave 3 here, then we have a triangle wave 4, which is very common, right? The triangles most commonly form in wave 4 position, right? So after this fourth wave, what comes is the fifth wave, right? But just have a look what happened to this fifth wave. This is the 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 fifth wave here, right? So all the way from the low around $327 per share of Tesla, we saw a rise. The price skyrocketed all the way to $967 per share, right? So this is the extension of fifth wave, right? The fifth wave has clearly extended here, right? The size of fifth wave is much bigger than the size of wave 3 and wave 1 combined, right? So this is the extension in an impulse wave. This is not very common, right? This is a rare case. This happens only a few times in a year, right? For example, here in the price chart of Tesla, this happened recently. Also, if you remember, in price chart of Bitcoin, right? The Bitcoin skyrocketed to $20,000 per coin, right? Some 2 years ago. So this is not very common case. Usually the extended wave is not this long, right? The extended wave is longer than the rest of the waves, but not like this, okay? Now let's have a look at another example of wave extension. This is price chart of crude oil. The time frame is weekly, right? This is wave extension and truncation, example 2. This is example of extension in the correction, right? As we have studied that the extensions may occur in motive waves, also they may occur in corrective waves, right? So we have seen an example of Tesla, where the impulse wave has a clear extension in wave 5 position. Now this is the corrective wave. This is a clear triangle here in front of you on price chart of crude oil, right? We can extend these lines, by the way, and you can see clearly that wave A of this triangle has clearly extended, right? What you see in this wave A of the triangle, by the way, we are having a look at this pattern that initiated on January 2016, and this wave A ended in September 2018, right? This is a triangle. The trend was to the downside. Then we got this correction, right? And then after the completion of the correction, the trend resumed to the downside, right? So in this triangle, this wave A has clearly extended. You have ABC for W, you have ABCDE, a triangle wave X, then you have A, B, expanding diagonal wave C for wave Y, right? Then you have sharp move for wave X, then you have A, triangle B, and C for wave Z for wave A of the triangle, right? This is triple zigzag in wave A position, W, X, Y, X, Z, right? So this is the extension in the correction, right? This usually happens in a triangle. One wave out of 5 waves usually extends in a triangle, right? If you compare the duration of these waves, this is weekly time frame, so each bar represents 1 week, right? One trading week, right? Wave A, it took 141 weeks on my price data that my broker provided me. It is 141 weeks, right, taken by wave A to complete. Wave B took only 12 weeks, right? Wave C took only 17 weeks. Wave D took only 15 weeks, and wave E took only 22 weeks, right? And if you compare the duration of wave A versus all these waves, wave A was 141 weeks, right? And rest of the triangle, all these wave B, C, D, and E, their combined duration is only 66 weeks, right? Not even half of the duration taken by the wave A alone, right? So this is a clear extension in the correction. So now let's study about the guideline of the truncation first before we see its example. By truncation, we mean that a failure to reach the extreme point of previous wave, right? For example, in an impulse wave, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Sometimes this fifth wave fails to reach the extreme point of wave 3 or even to reach beyond the extreme point of wave 3. This is a very rare case. I am telling you, the truncation is not a common pattern. It is a very rare pattern. On the other hand, wave extension is a very common pattern. You will see wave extension on all time frames, on all types of instruments, but the truncation is very hard to find. It is a very rare phenomena, right? So do not be confused if you see a truncation on price chart, because it is a very rare pattern that even if you see a truncation on a price chart, and my advice is that move on to some other instrument, because it's maybe not a truncation. You are maybe counting the waves incorrectly. So the truncation generally means the failure to reach the extreme of prior move, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 5 has truncation with wave 3 here in this impulse wave, right? So in a diagonal, the truncation cannot happen, okay? The truncation is not allowed in the diagonal, right? But what may happen in a diagonal is you see this ABC for one wave, ABC down for wave 2, ABC up for wave 3, right? Then ABC down for wave 4. This wave 4 must end in the price territory of wave 1, right? And then what you may see is A, B, and C for wave 5, right? This is a contracting diagonal of 3 3 3 3 3 variety, but you have a truncation between wave A and wave C of this fifth wave, right? So this is not the truncation of this fifth wave and the third wave, right? Because the fifth wave has clearly gone beyond the extreme point of wave 3, right? This is only the truncation of wave C with wave A, right? Because wave C has failed to reach the extreme point of wave A, right? Because normal truncation between wave 3 and wave 5 is not allowed in the diagonals, okay? It is allowed in the impulse waves but not in the diagonals. So that is the truncation in motive waves. Let's now have a look at truncation in corrective waves. For example, you see 5 waves here to the downside as wave A, okay? And then you have a deep retracement of this wave A that you call wave B, right? And then what you have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now there is no truncation between this third and fifth wave of this wave C, but there is clear truncation. There is a clear failure. This wave C has failed to reach the extreme point of wave A here, right? So this is a clear truncation between wave A and wave C of this zigzag, right? What about flats? Well, the running flat is an example of the truncation, right? Because this wave C of the running flat fails to reach the extreme point of wave A, right? So this wave C is truncated with wave A here, right? So this is an example of truncation in a flat. If a regular flat has a failure, then this is not a running flat, of course, because for the running flat, wave B must go beyond the start of wave A, right? So this is 3, 3, 5 here, but wave C has a truncation here, right? Wave C is truncated with wave A of the regular flat here, right? What about the triangles? Well, this one is interesting because this is more common than rest of the patterns, okay? As I said, the truncation is a very rare phenomena, right? It is not much common, but for the triangles, it is more common than the rest of the patterns, okay? You will see wave A, B, and C for the wave A of a triangle. Then you will see maybe an extended wave B of a triangle, double zigzag maybe. Then you will see wave C of a triangle of normal size. Then you have wave D of a triangle, again of normal size. Then you will see a very small wave here, right? That is actually not enough retracement of this move, but the triangle ends here, right? Most of the time, the traders are fooled by this small move, right? They are expecting a much bigger move as wave E of a triangle. But what happens is this triangle ends with a truncated wave E and the price resumes its main primary trend, right? Which was to the downside. So this is actually more common than rest of the truncations, rest of the patterns, okay? This truncation in wave E of a triangle occurs more often than the truncation in any other Elliott wave pattern. So these are the line diagram explanation of the truncation in the Elliott wave patterns. Let's now have a look at an example of the truncation. This is the price chart of Australian dollar versus New Zealand dollar forex currency pair. The time frame is daily. We are having a look at this pattern that initiated on 10th of October 2008 and terminated on 4th of May 2011, right? What we have here, this is wave extension and truncation example number 3. In this example, we have example of extended wave in a diagonal. Also, we have example for the truncation between wave A and wave C, right? Anyways, from this low to this high, what do you see? What is this pattern? Can you label this? Maybe you should pause the video and try to label this pattern. Well, I hope most of you got it right. Let's try to label this. Let's try to recognize this pattern, right? Maybe this is an impulse wave, right? Maybe this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is maybe 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Maybe this is a diagonal here, right? Well, no, this is wrong. First of all, there is uh, the the guideline called the guideline of right look that we are going to study in the next lecture, right? That guideline holds false here. That means this wave 4 is much bigger than wave 2. Okay, this should not be the case, right? And secondly, the third wave of this diagonal is bigger than the first wave of the diagonal. Since this is a contracting diagonal, so wave 3 must be smaller than wave 1, wave 5 must be smaller than wave 3, right? But that is not the case here, as wave 3 is bigger than wave 1, right? So this is not the correct pattern here. Then what is this? Maybe this is a zigzag, right? A, B, ending diagonal wave C. Well, again, this diagonal is invalid, right? This ending diagonal is invalid because wave 3 is bigger than wave 1, right? So this is not an impulse, this is not a zigzag, right? This is maybe a flat, 3 up, 3 down, 5 up, maybe 5 up. Well, this 3 down is very small if we compare it with this move to the upside, right? So this is not a flat, this is not a zigzag. Maybe a triangle, A, B, C, D, E. No, of course not. This is not a triangle. Then what is this? What is this pattern here? Well, only one pattern is left that we did not talk about. We have a move up here, then a move down here, right? Then a move up. This is 3 waves, this is 3 waves, this is 3 waves. This is W, X, Y, right? Then we have move down, up, and down, right? Then we have A, B, C, right? Then we have another down, up, down, right? Then we have another up. Wow, what is this? This is W, X, Y. This is ABC, this is ABC, this is ABC, this is A. Well, where is B and C? What's going on here? Where is B and C? Ah, this is wave B because this is 3 waves, folks, if you pay attention. And we have 5 waves to the upside. If you count this, these are 5 waves here. What happened here is called the truncation between wave A and wave C of the zigzag that is actually wave 5 of the diagonal, right? This is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, this is wave 4, this is wave 5 of the diagonal, not this one, since this is only 5 waves here, right? We need 5, then 3, then 5, okay? So this is an ending diagonal, the diagonal of 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 variety, right? And if we draw the lines, this is the trend line that connects the extreme point of wave 1 and wave 3 of the diagonal, and this is the trend line that connects the extreme point of wave 2 and wave 4 of the diagonal, and this is the actual top, this is the actual extreme point of this ending diagonal, not this one, right? So this is the truncation between wave A and wave C of this zigzag that formed wave 5 of this diagonal, right? So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you about the truncation. And what about the extended wave in the diagonal? This wave 1, folks, look at this, guys, look at this move. Let me draw singular price moves here. This is wave 1 of the diagonal, right? Wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5, right? This is wave 5, not this one, right? There is a truncation here between wave A and wave C. So what about the size of wave 1 versus wave 3 versus wave 5? Wave 3 and wave 5 also wave 2 and wave 4, they look normal, right? What happened to this wave 1? This is extended wave 1, guys. This is extension in wave 1 position of the ending diagonal, right? So this is how an extension looks like in a diagonal, right? See, the wave 1 of this contracting ending diagonal is much bigger than wave 3 and wave 5, wave 2 and wave 4, right? The size of this wave 1 is very big, right? And also we saw the truncation example here between wave A and wave C of this fifth wave of this ending diagonal, right? So that's it about the wave extension and the truncation. I hope these guidelines can help you in counting waves in more easy and efficient way, right? They can help you in labeling the waves correctly, and they can help you in trading the markets correctly, and they can help you in being on the right side of the fence when it comes to trading, right? So thanks for the attendance. Until next class, see you.